options, David. If you think about it, if the Federal Reserve has already said the free candy is over because we're going to start hiking rates, so there goes their stimulus. If the debt limits us to the terms of the size of the tax cuts that a lot of people want, and they're not going to be big, well, there goes that stimulus. What's going to goose us?
We don't need any. That's not the job of government, to keep goosing with debt and printed money the private capitalist economy. Let's get finances sound at the government level and then roll back regulations, lower the tax rates to the degree we can, broaden the base.
How far do you think we can?
I think you could easily get the corporate rate down to 20%. That's not a problem. The corporate tax...
Individual rates are a little dicey.
The individual rates are a little dicier. The better thing to do is cut the payroll tax, but, you know, that doesn't seem to be on the table. But if we want to help...
But that's relative chump change in the scheme of things.
Oh, no, the payroll tax is huge. 160 million people pay it. It generates $1.1 trillion a year. It's killing jobs because it's making...
Well, would you cut it out or cut it down?
I would cut it down or eliminate it if I could and replace it with... you know, consumption tax or VAT or some revenue.
In other words, you would take a tax right there and replace it with another tax. That you couldn't not have that.
Well, the point is, we're putting a 15% tax, employer-employee, on wages. We're already highly uncompetitive in the world. That's why Trump talks about, you know, this huge trade deficit.
See, that keeps our entitlements going.
Yeah, okay. But the thing is, until we take that burden off the cost of labor, we're not going to get take-home pay to workers and good-paying jobs generated. So, you know, that would be the way to go. It's not even on the table. They're going to be so tied up with infrastructure, corporate reform, debt.
And why doesn't a president or president-elect just say that? Like, you know, like
I think
a President Polk kind of deal. I'm going to be a one-termer. Going in, I'm going to be a one-termer. And they asked him to run for re-election. He said, I'm going to be a one-termer.
I think that would be
wouldn't that be great just to say, I'm going to throw this at you because I see this math, you see this math. Here's where we're going. It's not a pretty place. I'm going to risk all this. I know I'm doomed on this. I couldn't even run for re-election on this. But I'm here to tell you what the real skinny is.
Well, it would be a brilliant tweet.
Yeah.
It would electrify the situation. I don't think that's going to happen. I think we're going to have a fiscal bloodbath, not a fiscal stimulus.
Are we going to have a fiscal crisis?
Yes, absolutely. We're going to have a debt
sometime in the next 4 years.
I would say in the next year. We haven't escaped the law.
Well, that will be on Republicans. They'll blame Republicans.
Well, that's why I think he should demand that Janet Yellen resign right now and set up the Fed to take the fall because they created this massive bubble in the first place, and do what Reagan did. He blamed Jimmy Carter. He blamed his predecessors for the mess.
Didn't we have a guy who was blaming his predecessor? Aren't we over that?
Yeah, we should, because in effect he's inheriting a very bad hand of bubble finance from the Fed and massive debt on the fiscal front. And that just limits the running room entirely. And I don't think the Trump administration is even, you know, halfway prepared for the monsters that they're going to confront that are in this deep
Have you ever talked to Trump about this stuff?
No.
I guess after this broadcast, not likely, right?
Yes, okay.
All right, persona non grata. They've got pictures of you all around the district. Just don't let this guy in.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, David Stockman. Again, whether you agree or disagree, folks, a lot of this is math. You can quibble with numbers all you want, but you can't quibble with the direction. So we're going to keep looking at this, what I think is a bit of a news development here, that the Trump administration is inclined to still go with these tax cuts, but in waves, two big waves, corporate first, individual second.